Hi, I'm Yvette Hernandez.
No, I'm Lydia.
And you're watching American Hispanics The Journey, where our Hispanic community tunes in weekly to hear what is good in our community and to learn about the journey to the American dream. Chen?
Yvette, what's good?
We have a lot of good things happening today, Chen. We have some fun topics to talk about. We got to talk about the weekend, and we have an awesome interview with Lidia Forkel. She's a wonderful person. I can't wait for you guys to hear this interview. We'll be right back. The Journey, where our Hispanic community tunes in weekly to hear what is good and to learn about the journey to the American dream. We're back, and you're watching American Hispanics The Journey. I'm Yvette.
I'm Lydia Chen.
And Chen?
Yes?
We have some fun things to talk about.
What's good, Yvette?
What did we do? Where were we this weekend?
Oh, we were at that Barbados fashion show, right?
That's right.
Guess who was wearing a Dominican Republic swimsuit? Your host. Yes.
Was it me?
Yes.
Oh, that was me.
So tell our viewers about your weekend.
It was awesome. I had 2 fashion shows, and man, we were invited to something very important. But I did have 2 fashion shows. I had one at the Marriott and one at the Renaissance here in Atlanta. It was fun. I had a lot to do, and I even stopped at La Parrilla. It's a Mexican restaurant here in Atlanta, and it was wonderful. I had to watch what I was eating because of my bathing suit that I had to wear that evening. So
exactly.
Sometimes we have to watch what we eat, and watching what we eat is very important. And Hispanics living here in America sometimes have a hard time choosing what to eat when they go out because, you know, we love our rice and beans and stuff like that, but we also have to watch what we eat to keep our weights down. Arroz con pollo is very important.
My favorite.
But a la parrilla, I had myself a little burrito, and I asked to have them remove the tortilla because it's a little fattening. So when I asked them to remove it, they just gave me the vegetables and the meat and the shrimp and stuff like that. It was really good.
That sounds
but
good, though.
Chen, let me tell you, watching our weight is the most important. It's very important for the Hispanic community because we have a body image thing happening. Our families are always talking about, mira muchacha, ¿qué es lo que te pasa? Te tienes que perder un poco de libra, te ves muy gorda. ¿Qué pasa? Either I'm too fat or I'm too skinny. I don't get it.
Choose one.
I don't know, right? So I'm like, okay. So they have this body type that they're looking for every time they see their daughter, and they constantly either you're too fat or too skinny. I never know when I'm going to be right for them. But I think that a lot of Hispanic families do that, and they expect us to be a particular weight. But then, you know what? They don't teach us how to exercise. They only teach us to eat. Here's a plate of food, and they pile it on. But they don't say anything to the guys. That's not fair.
Yes, it is. It is. No,
really?
Okay.
Well, you guys get to eat whatever you want. And Mom will come in with a big plate for my brother and be like, mira, Rafaelito, te di esto. Mira, have some of this. Y come un poco de esto también. Man, and his plate be looking all big and fat. And then she brings me my plate. And she, mira, mi hija, toma, comete vegetables and a little bit of meat.
So why are you jealous?
And I'm like, okay, how come his plate looks bigger than mine?
But wait, you were telling me earlier that Hispanics' mom are kind of harder on their daughters compared to the whole body image. In your experience, did you experience that with your mom?
All the time.
Really?
And for some reason, I do it to my daughter, too.
Wow. From generation to generation.
From generation to generation. I feel so bad for her because whenever I talk to her, I'm like, Natasha, did you get on the scale? Did you weigh yourself? Are you exercising every day? I think, you know, I worry about her not getting diabetes because it runs in our family.
Yeah.
It runs in our family. And diabetes is a very scary thing for me. I hate needles. I don't want to have to control my glucose or, you know, have to take needles and take shots.
Just to worry about?
Yeah, too much to worry about. So I worry about that with my daughter. And I think a lot of our Hispanic mothers worry about their daughters and more worry about the daughter and not the son getting sick.
In my opinion, I think the mothers are really just trying to, you know, shape their daughters into becoming a better women for society or, you know, better themselves, you know. Women always have it hard in society. So I guess mothers are just trying to empower that empowerment, women
Right.
empowerment, and
Woman
them to be
power, but I think,
stronger.
yes, make us stronger and make us, I think, more aware about our bodies. There is a lot of
Exactly.
obesity here in the United States with
That is
regards to
true.
Hispanics and a lot of cultures as well. But since we are on the topic of Hispanics, I mean, there are a lot of overweight Hispanics.
You're
And
right.
I mean, every other commercial that I watch on Univision or any of these other channels is, whoa, wear this girdle thing, you know, to make your waist.
To hide it.
Yeah,
Why?
to hide
That's
something.
crazy. You should be encouraging people to exercise, eat healthier, rather than, covering up all. That's
Everything
just
else,
too
right?
much. I
So that was
can't-
my worry this weekend with regards to the fashion show. But on top of that, Jen, there was something educational happening this weekend. We were invited to it, but we weren't able to make it.
That's right. Hope.
Hope. It's
That
Hispanics, a Hispanic organization promoting education.
That's
And
right.
what they do is that they were fundraising, which it was their dinner
Yes.
to fundraise, because what they do is they go to all these high schools and they talk to the students, the Hispanic students there, and let them know how much they matter and how much if people are putting them down or making them feel bad about themselves because they
Right.
speak Spanish or because they speak with an accent or something like that. Sometimes their grades get low, or sometimes they stop going to school, and sometimes they drop out of school because they bullied or because they feel bad about themselves because of the image that America sometimes has with regards to Hispanics. Our kids hear that. They see that on
Yeah,
TV.
they do.
And it's good
They
to
have
have
feelings, you know?
yes, and it's good to have a program like this that encourages our children to know that it's okay to be different.
Exactly.
It's okay
It's
to speak
okay.
Spanish. It's okay to have a little accent.
It's okay to be you.
Yes, it is okay to be you. And that's what Hope is all about. And I hope that some of our viewers that are watching were able to go and give to that benefit, give to that organization.
Donate.
And you can donate to them. You can go online and you can look up Hope. And I wish I was at the dinner. That was the only thing I wish I was
That's
doing.
right. And you know what, too, Yvette? There's a lot of other programs other than Hope that's out there that's geared towards Latinos, to help us to reach our education or health or just coming into this country. You're new, it's a different.
Yes.
So these programs are out there to help you get acclimated to the change.
To the change, living here in America. Guys, I have something else to tell you.
Yes.
We have a wonderful interview with Lidia Forkel.
That's right.
And I want you guys to take a look at this. Hi, I'm here with Lydia. And Lydia, thank you for having me in your home today. And man, we have a great story. Lydia's got her journey to tell us. She's going to tell us her journey to the United States. Lydia, how did you come into the United States?
Thank you, Yvette. It was a pleasure to meet you, and thank you for having me on my show. I came to the United States with my family, with half of my family, my brothers and my dad, when I was 17 years old.
Wow, 17. You were so young.
I was.
Did you know English at that point, or did you already know English, or did you have to learn English?
I had to learn conversational English. However, we have have basic knowledge of English and French back home.
Okay.
So I knew the words of the animals and what are things for, but conversational English was a little harder.
Okay.
Because you will read it from, but you don't necessarily have a scenario to practice. We speak Spanish back home, so it was very random for me to be speaking English other than a few words for a test.
Okay, so you came with your family with a visa, and you came through immigration. I mean, how was that?
I actually came with a residency. So when you enter with a residency, it's basically this will be a place in which you're going to live. The difference between that and being a citizen is that you can vote just yet.
Okay.
And I'm glad that you asked that. A lot of people come with visas to the United States. Could be a student visa, a tourist visa. We basically got a visa to live here, and they welcome us all to the United States at that time. Yeah.
Wow.
I wasn't understanding too much of the process, but yeah,
right.
it was a long process.
Yes. And so your English was limited. So when you got here, what did you think of the people talking to you here? I mean, did you say, "Oh my goodness, I mean, this is not the English I learned back home"?
You are correct. I was so confused. I have no idea what they were talking. It would not make sense to me. I couldn't make a difference between this or six because they spoke so fast, and the English that we are accustomed to is the English from England or the British or Scottish English, in
Right.
which everything is said it is spoken properly.
Very proper English.
So if you say toilet, it's toilet, or if it says bathroom, it's the restroom, and then I'm like, why is it the restroom? I don't want to rest. I want to go take a bath.
I wanted to go to the bathroom.
But that is something that you learn as you are able to have conversations with other people. And the
Right.
accent, I was like, okay, which is like, but
Wow, that was
it
different for
quite-
you,
It was
right?
very different.
Very different. So you came at 17. You had graduated from high school.
Correct.
And they were trying to get you to go to high school again here.
Yes, and that was a nightmare. I refused. I am so glad that my parents were supportive at the time, because I basically told in the education department where they were signing up and registering my brothers, I had said to her, I am not going to any of your high schools in English, because to me they were just like, it was not like the movies where you see everybody in the proper dress.
Right.
My first question was, why do they wear regular clothing? Or why do they wear all that makeup to high school? It was just a bad place for me,
Okay.
according to my experience.
That
And
was a
plus, I
shock.
was already graduated, so I don't feel that I needed to repeat a grade just because somebody wanted me to speak English.
Oh, wow. So what did you do to combat that? Did you take another course, or did you wait another year?
I did. I was able to join a program that was helping young adults that had just were newcomers to the United States, and that was a foundation that was created by people from our country originally. They wanted to house other teenagers or young adults between 17 and 25 and 21 years old to be successful after high school. So I was one of them, and I was lucky to get in only because my father was smart enough to validate all of my diplomas and all of my grades and translate them in English. So when he brought them to the state, they were actually accepted by this school.
Excellent.
So I was there for 6 months, and I graduated until it was time for me to go to college. Then.
Wonderful. When you went to college here, what college did you go to?
I actually went to a community college that was located in Long Island. I had moved out of Manhattan because I told you I didn't like Manhattan. But I like it to visit. So I went to a community college, and I studied there business administration with a minor in early childhood. I was able to do the associate's degree, or what is called here an associate's degree, for 2 years. And I promptly found a job. So I was able to work as well going to school at the same time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you got your experience and the education all at the same time.
Yes.
That's awesome. So you landed in New York City when you came to the United States. When you came to America, you came right to the jungle.
I came right to the jungle. You can say that right.
When you saw all these people everywhere, I mean, what did you think of the United States when you first came here?
I told you it was like, oh, it's really dirty. It's not what you see in the movies, the little houses from the suburb, and everybody's just all nice blonde hair and blue eyes and so forth that they portrayed in Latin America. And coming from a country where we are at such a different colors and type of hair.
Do you consider yourself successful?
Yes, I do. And I'm glad you said that. Success for me is not accomplished to have things or money, although those are items that will help you through life. But once you set yourself a goal, just start with goals that you can actually accomplish. Don't try to set your goals way so high and then you disappoint yourself. I told you earlier my success was to have a family, my kids, being a mom, and be productive to my society. So yes, I am successful. I am a Christian woman. I have God in my house, in my life, and so therefore I am successful.
Excellent. And I agree with you. You are very successful, especially in our Hispanic culture. We consider having a family, having a home, very successful.
Yes.
And is that your American dream?
That is. My husband and I were able to accomplish our American dream, buying our home, having our family in here, and then instill those values in our children too. It's not just, like I said, having a house, the four walls, but you had to be able to have your story in the house, to leave your mark in your community, to leave your mark in your neighborhood, to know your neighbors, to help in any way. That's what a successful and American dream story is. And yes, we do have a house. Hopefully we'll get another one, but that's That's
in the
plan
works. That's in
ahead
the works. That's good.
Yes,
Excellent.
yes.
Thank you so much. Listen, Lydia, this show in this show, we try to inspire others to do something so that they can come out of the darkness, to come into light, to do something good for themselves. When you were getting your education, was it difficult to get that education? Or do you think that we can tell the children how easy it is, or tell our people how easy it is?
It is. I know it's hard because a lot of people in our community, not only for our own people from back home, but other communities and other countries, I wanted to say.
Right.
It is hard for them. They come here in a different way in which I did, and they had to work really hard to send money back home.
Right.
So there's no time for them to actually take the time and study anything.
Right.
However, like I said earlier, it's best if you start small. Just find a local school. If you don't know any English, there are churches that will give you some English classes. So start by that. Start watching your favorite show in English and just put the caption on there. One word that you will understand a day that will build towards your success.
Yes.
When you feel comfortable to begin a GED, which is a high school diploma in Spanish or English, then you go for it. And you try it numerous times. Even if you fail once, the next time you will be a little bit more successful.
The Journey, where our Hispanic community tunes in weekly to hear what is good and to learn about the journey to the American dream.
If you have a story to tell, make sure you hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, or even send us an email. You never know, your story could be aired on our next show.
If you're volunteering in a church serving food, you're going to start learning English about food.
Right.
So that's also a contribution to the society and to yourself. So that's to elevate yourself and to move forward.
So when you came here, did you become a citizen?
Not right away.
Okay.
Because remember, I was a minor.
Right.
And to become to be eligible to become a citizen of the United States, you had to be in the States for at least 5 years. Back in those days, it was very easy. It was very inexpensive. You just pay, I think it was like $75 or
Yeah,
$90.
$75, I believe.
My $75 when I was in my 20s, that was a lot of money.
That's a lot of money
I
back then.
couldn't
I'm
do
sorry.
that.
Yes, it is.
And then I just didn't think it was important.
Okay.
When I started studying and trying to find out about the society, how the politics works around here, who put that guy over there, why is he the commissioner, why is the mayor, and who gets to elect them, then I started to find interested into becoming a citizen of what to do. By the time I finally decided to become a citizen, they went from like $90 to like $600 and something. And if I thought $90 was a lot of money, imagine $600.
Right.
But I was able to become a citizen.
Yes, excellent.
And many years ago. So I had the pleasure to vote for the states. And in my country, I couldn't vote, not because I wasn't a citizen, but because I was a minor. But my first voting experience was in the United States. It is important to voice out your concerns and not only just talk about them and find a problem with it, but you need to find a way to resolve them. And voting is one way for you to
muy
contribute.
importante que podamos hacer el voto aquí en los Estados Unidos, especialmente si están viviendo aquí en los Estados Unidos. It is very important that because we're living here in the United States, Hispanics that are living here should think about being able to vote.
Yes, and understand the process and understand their candidates, not just I like this or I like that, but just understand the entire process. Unfortunately, there's no school to teach you that.
Right.
They assume that because you are a citizen that you already know, but we have so many resources within the internet. You can check in your local voting polls how to vote in the process. You can even get an example ballot for you to look at. So
of course.
That's a big contribution. So
It
I was
is.
excited about that.
Lydia, thank you so much. I want to ask you just one last thing before we close out. I want to know if you have some advice for our Hispanic community.
I certainly do. Miss Yvette, I wanted to tell you that we need to be empowered. We need to be able to make our children successful.
Yes.
And in order for us to do that, we need to inform ourselves. if we stay home, continue to do what we do, bringing the money home and just being saying I had to pay my bills, that's not just the way. You are doing enough, but educate yourself. I don't mean just go to school, but just know your community, get involved in your community, speak to your children. Our children are here. You gave them the opportunity to be here. Let them be in school. Don't tell them that they need to work and help you. Help them to help themselves first. And then we will be able to be more successful. Together, we can make a bigger contribution that we already have.
Lydia, thank you. Thank you so much for having us in your home. It was wonderful. It was warm and beautiful. And everything you had to say was so educational. My goodness, I hope that we've inspired you guys today to do better, and what Lydia has said, everything she said, take the time to educate the children, to let them know that they matter. Give them a little more freedom when it comes to not having so much things to do, adult things to do at home, but let them go to school and let them learn. And just thank you for watching us today. Hi guys, what did you think about that interview? Huh?
Did you learn something?
Was Lydia funny or what? Oh, she was awesome.
That was a great interview.
Awesome interview.
Yes.
Oh, she had some great stuff to tell us.
She did.
And man, that advice she gave us at the end, what a great advice to give to our community. She is a great community advocate. And I just love showing things like this because it builds us up. It empowers our viewers. It empowers me. I love it. It encouraged me to just hear everything she had to say. It was an awesome show. Guys, we're closing today. We'd love to have you back and hear us next week. If one, I'd love to invite our businesses, our local businesses.
That's right.
Or if anybody owns a business and you want to be part of our show and you want to tell us your true story about how you got here to America and how you got to your American dream, please come forward and tell us. Get online and tell us. And if they want to tell, anybody else wants to tell us their story, what should they do?
Guys, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. You never know, your story could be aired in the next show.
That's right. Guys, thank you so much. You're watching American Hispanics The Journey. I'm Yvette Hernandez.
Now I'm Lennon Chen.
And we hope to see you next week. Good night.